We're back. It's time to... There it is.
Time to
Found it.
die.
All the way back
Back to the stressful music.
to the before times.
I
like Nine Inch Nails and...
I love this song.
I'm gonna burn the whole way down. So anyway, we're here to follow after. So last time we sat down with Carl. Everyone else just split to 7 directions after a big fight, and we were like, I don't know, what if I just sat down? And then we spent a week smoking pot and playing video games, and then Silent Hill happened to us. It found us.
Yeah.
And
We just ignored everyone else.
now we're going to be more proactive. We're going to go hang out with Jenna and Leo and probably find out why they don't stick together, I guess, because they split off here, but they do not spend the week together from what it sounded like.
So I wonder if this is a path that goes forward and then branches to a choice that we will have to then revisit to do the Jenna route.
Yeah, unless I just saved there too.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you should.
So many saves. The
Too many saves.
I wonder. Shit. We did Carl for so long that I'm out. I didn't get any practice with Leo's voice with whatever that was trying,
You have
trying to do there.
The
It's like
Khajiit
hard.
voice.
It's hard. I watched Jenna's tail disappear through the sagebrush. They're headed down the same trail that I had used to get to Lake Emma. And for anyone that forgot, what's happening here is that this is when so this is like a couple days into the trip or something. Chase was like, we wanted to have wanted to do the stuff for his documentary at the river that leads to the lake where the trauma is, and what is it? Flynn was taking that very poorly, and then over the course of the thing, I mean, eventually, like, he just starts yelling at TJ, who runs off, and then he also like just goes off and he just walks home, I guess, without the car, and then everyone just kind of splits off as a result.
Yeah, that we
So Leo and Jenna are looking for TJ, and TJ ran off and TJ somewhere else, and then Carl just sits there and he's like, well, and so your choice is there of like who to follow, and that's the split. That's the most important choice of the game, I guess, as far as like what your fate's going to be that time.
yeah, wildly divergent
Yeah.
storylines based on what you choose to do at this moment.
So we're off with Jenna and Leo looking for TJ, who has all sorts of baggage, I'm sure, because I think he's the one that Flynn blames in some way for Sydney's death.
Which is not super elaborated on necessarily, but the implication is that TJ saw it.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
We think that TJ either found Sydney or saw Sydney die.
I feel like I'm trying to think what I would actually do without knowing that this was going to wildly diverge. If Leo and Jenna were both going after TJ, I probably would have sat with Carl and made sure Carl was okay. I wouldn't have gone after Flynn because Flynn's obviously an asshole. But and he did it. You know, it's his thing. He wants to go huff it out by himself. But like if those two were already looking for TJ, I would have been like,
yeah,
hey Carl, you all right? Just hypothetically, I'm running this through my brain, but yeah, TJ
I just thought
needs
about
to be
how
found.
like in the Carl route, I just realized that we've got new context for now that we know what happened. I'm just thinking back to the second fight that happens. When you meet up with everybody again, and then it goes badly again, shockingly, and then once again Flynn goes after TJ. Jenna staring at us like a horror monster is recontextualized now because we know what was happening probably at that point, and it wasn't just her like weirdly blaming us or something.
Well, then her getting mad at Carl and freaking out on him on the porch before all of this even happened.
She has a lot of disproportionate anger directed towards Carl in general, and we're like, oh,
I said this before.
we have answers now.
But I'm interested to see Jenna in a normal light, because we only saw her in a possessed psychopath light, and I don't really know what her personality is exactly.
TJ did seem to head off in that direction while we were fighting, though I can't imagine he'd go to the lake. I should go with them to help find the links. I'm also a little worried about Leo. It's been a long time since I've seen him that pissed. When I get there, I find Leo leaning back with his rear up against a big boulder on the shore.
Boulder on the shoulder.
Boulder on the shoulder. Sisyphus. Bittersweet memories flood in. The rock is almost as much a staple of my childhood as the actual lake is. It's weird like that. Every memory I have of this place is dreamy and gold-tinged, but always has a hint of sadness about it, no matter what the situation was. Jenna is standing in front of Leo, her arms folded as she talks to him. I can't see his face, but his posture is sagging and his ears are down, looking way older than he actually is. I stand back for a while, feeling awkward about intervening at this point. Leo occasionally shakes his head, then takes out his phone to look at it. I can see Jen is getting annoyed, but then she says something, and Leo turns his head to look back at me. I seize up for a second, but Jenna is beckoning me with her paw while Leo isn't looking. I start stumbling over the rocks towards them as Leo looks back at his phone and Jenna starts walking towards me.
It's funny that you can walk again. I like my brain.
You have to remember that he can actually walk again.
Don't walk. Don't walk. Just talk to him. He'll listen to you.
Huh. Well, there's the split.
Yeah, that was immediate.
Big surprise. Alright, we'll go to Leo. She passes by me, going back towards the trail. Sure, he'll probably listen to me, but I have no idea what I should say. The rocks are actually hard to navigate, especially when you don't have any protection for your feet. I'm almost at the boulder when my foot catches on an edge of a rock and I yelp and fall forward, knees first into the sharp rocks.
You're hurting yourself again. Chase, what the fuck?
Ah! Pain shoots up my legs and my eyes clench shut as I cringe silently.
A lot of this narrative is describing pain.
Did he really just hurt his legs again?
Dude, is he gonna limp
even
in this
earlier?
storyline too?
Is he? He's gonna have a double limp. It's that impactful. Just the rocks are that dangerous, even though they're trying to turn it into a tourist location.
They're castaway level rocks.
Shit. Are you alright? I look up and see Leo looking down at me. His ears up now at the sound of my fall. Yeah, fine. Leo frowns and reaches over with a paw, which I grab onto and pull myself up with. I make my way around him, being a little more careful about where I put my feet as I position myself next to him against the boulder. I put both my paws behind myself and heave myself up on top of the boulder, letting my legs dangle over the side. I'm so damn clumsy. You're an otter. Wow, asshole. I say it jokingly, but Leo's not really smiling. Instead, he sticks a paw into his pocket and pulls out a slightly flat-looking cigarette. I give a start and stare. I shouldn't be surprised. I could smell it on him when I first got here. It's just that I'm not used to seeing him do it. He started right after I left. He pulls out a lighter, lights it, takes a drag, then blows the smoke out the side of his muzzle away from me. You're meant to swim, not walk on rocks. I mean, technically, Carl is built for that, and he's still falling down all the time.
Carl should be like mountain climbing.
I think that's because Flynn's always tripping him with his tail. Speaking of Carl, grunting, I lean over sideways and look at the side of the boulder. I find what I'm looking for instantly, a series of chips and scratches outlining the rough figure of a canine with a long cape and an S on his chest. Ha! It's still here.
It's just super furry. Like
super furry. Carl's drawing. Shit. I forgot about that. Never finished it, did he?
He has a Stussy S on his chest instead of a normal Superman S.
Nah, but it's pretty good. Remember how Super Wolf was the only thing he talked about that summer?
Because he was in love with him.
Yeah. And the movie wasn't even that good. He loved it, though. Yeah, I guess that's all that really mattered. Or it's because you saved him that summer, if it's the same summer. I don't know. Because didn't Leo save him from the bullies?
That's a very good point, Keith.
Yeah, so our heroic wolf might have a specific resonance with Carl. Leo grimaces and reaches over to my knee, I wince and look down as he puts his thumb and index finger around a cut that I hadn't noticed until now. Blood is oozing through the fur and leaking down my shin. How did you not notice that? That's significant.
That seems significant. I mean, I've definitely bled and not and cut myself and not realized it before, lots of times. But
like, how much bleeding?
If it's oozing all the way down to your toes, then it's probably an issue.
We'll need to clean that out. I shrug. It's not a big deal. Nah, we'll stop at the convenience store and get some peroxide. There's some nasty shit around this lake.
Yeah, lake water is probably not what you wanted to cut.
It's fine, seriously. Just to be safe. I smirk. Safe? Like this? Wait, what do you have to do? Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna be like, I'm gonna do a backflip onto the rocks.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna do something stupid too.
I reach up and grab the cigarette dangling from his lips. He's quick, though, and whips his head away before taking it out of his muzzle. Hey! Don't hey me. Why the fuck are you smoking? His ears fall flat again and he glares. Why the fuck do you care? He spits that out with so much venom that I lean away from him, eyes wide. He's never talked to me like that before. And I was joking, too. What? Leo quickly looks away and doesn't say anything. I stare at his face for a while, watching his eyes flick around just as he shakes his head. He is not happy. This is I know exactly what this mentality is. It's because he's literally always thinking about how he and Chase left things, and he's bitter about that, and that's something that's just boiling in the background. It's why he was quicker to anger in general, and that's why he's reacting like this to this. He's there's things he keeps wanting to say, and so one little thing can push him to say the wrong thing here.
Well, I mean, and not only that, but it's this whole situation is incredibly stressful with what is happening, what just happened with the friend group, and missing TJ, and Jenna's pissed, and it's such a sucky, bad situation in general. And then you're here with your ex-boyfriend who you still have feelings for, who doesn't reciprocate them, as you're wearing this fucking bracelet with his fucking name on it, and and then it's I
with the health thing, it's why the fuck would you care? It rings of
I thought about this sentence in my brain already.
Well, it's also you left me for years. It's now you care apparently.
But yeah, no, it's look at his sad little face.
No.
And him doing the cigarette coping mechanism de-stress thing that people do when they're having a really fucking bad time. They're I need a cigarette right now. It's it's just all bad.
Are you still mad at me? We talked. Of course I'm still mad. Talking doesn't just fix 3 years. All the progress I thought we made on Saturday was an illusion. Yeah.
Dude, just think about how mad.
Did you think that fixed things?
Think about how mad he is in the Carl playthrough we just did, where we ignore him for the rest of the time. We didn't even get to see that. But he's probably extra mad in that one.
No. A very awkward meeting where we meet up in that cafe.
For 20 minutes and then never ever see each other again.
I don't know, maybe he went through the whole fucking stages of grief at that point because we ignored him for days after showing up after years.
You just cut him off so he's healthier for it.
He's holding on to the idea of us coming back, and we come back and we immediately fuck off to go hang out with our friend and don't give a shit about him, and then he just just spent the next few days just processing that.
Oh no. That's so sad.
Which happens in most timelines. In most timelines, you aren't with Leo, and he has to just deal with that. Jesus Christ. Enjoy that background noise every time we play this game.
Yeah, we'll play three playthroughs from now. We'll be remember Leo? Oh yeah, I wonder how he feels right now.
We have Jenna, TJ, and Flynn.
Yeah.
Leo's just as upset as he'd always been about what happened. I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to say, Leo? That I was wrong to leave? That I should have stayed there? Not leaving me in the dark would have been a good start. Yeah, I fucked that up. But it happened, and I can't fix that. What do you want to happen now? Leo stretches his arms out either side in one giant shrug. I don't know. This is already familiar. 1,000 past fights flash through my mind. Did we ever agree on anything? I slide off the boulder and Leo snaps his muzzle towards me, probably thinking I'm going to leave. Instead, I lean one paw against the rock as I turn to glare at him. It feels better yelling at someone standing up rather than sitting down. I'm just getting into my yelling stance. Phase 3. Oh, I know exactly what you want. Oh, do you? You just want me to drop everything and come back here, back to Echo. When did I ever ask you to drop anything? I just want to know if you're coming back. How am I supposed to know that? Why can't you plan ahead farther than next week? I swear it always was like this with you. I let out an exasperated laugh. I'm 21. I don't fucking know anything about anything. How should I know what I want?
I'm 28. I don't know the fuck about anything either.
It's the farce of every time someone's like, what do you see yourself in 10 years? I'm like, 10 years ago I thought I'd be a geologist within 10 years. So, stupid question, honestly.
Time means nothing to me anymore.
I play video games for a living with gay furries, where we have to censor some of the CGs because they're not safe for YouTube. And then I show my co-host afterwards.
I think little you and little me would be so proud.
Oh, it reminds me, I've got art to show you later of Chase and Raven.
Yay!
Well, I'm here. Don't you want to come back and live with me? We always planned for it. How long was always, though? His voice softens, and I pause, thinking about it right now. It is something I would want. It's just... Is Echo so bad that its negatives outweigh my benefits? I mean... I gesture at the town in the distance, looking as shitty and rusted as ever, then to the lake, looking as shitty and mucky as ever, then to the desert around us, looking as shitty and dry as ever. I let the scenery speak for itself. So, yeah, that's not even the real problems, which is all the people.
This is such a sad, I don't know. It's like things I've thought about before, where it's like, I would love to go there's all these places I'd love to live and go. And
yeah.
And it's like, would a person like this, just in general, like, what would you pay for true love? Like, would you be willing to live in some shitty place? I know a lot of people who like live in really awful places and stifle their own opportunity because of people, and like whether that works out or not is like completely independent of that. But it's like still, I don't know if I could look at this, like, if it's as bad as Chase says it is, I don't think I could look at that every day and be able to be happy.
No, I don't. I think the place. It's always, for me, it's less the place and more the people. Like, I don't really care what the nature is like, necessarily, but it's like, Echo, as far as we can tell, is populated by pretty awful people. Like, we've never met anyone we liked in Echo besides Raven.
Well, yeah, I mean...
We barely like our own friend group in Echo.
Where we live right now isn't, like, fantastic. A lot of people who live here aren't fantastic either.
That's what I was saying. That's the real life part of that.
That's why you stay inside.
Yes. I played Pokemon Go for a bit when I was here, and I'm like, I keep getting accosted by homeless people for existing outside. I don't love this.
And I have to work. I'm a manager in retail. You know how fucking awful that is.
Or when you walk through parks and someone weirdly glares at you like they're trying to like they're waiting for a meetup or something, like they're gonna exchange something, and you're like intruding their like bubble, like, what are you, a cop? And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm trying to catch a Squirtle.
That's what a cop would say.
This is a park with grass and dogs. Why do I feel weird just being here? And some of that's my own like anxieties, but some of it's just like, this is a sketchy ass town all the time.
Last time I went to, I used to take Kiki to the dog park.
Yeah.
And there's a big park right next to it. Last time I was there, I was offered heroin. So I was like,
yay.
I haven't gone back there.
Leo rolls his eyes. Pooh, Chicha. Chica? Probably. It's hard. And this is going to be a struggle this entire route. Get used to me not being sure ever.
Thanks for being patient, everyone.
But chica, Otter. I'm starting to think you just want an excuse not to be around me. I'm starting to think that what Flynn said was true. He looks straight at me, our eyes narrowing over his muzzle, his nostrils flaring. What? I'm not obsessed with you, I miss everyone, that's all. Is that wrong? That's obviously a lie. That's like he's not like, oh, I just miss you all equally is obviously not the case. You literally just talked about us moving in together.
Does your bracelet have everyone else's name on it too?
Yeah. I go quiet for a while and turn to look back over the lake, squinting at the bright, reflective flashes of light. It can be. But then, I don't even know if he's telling the truth. He'd never say whether or not this whole thing he'd planned was just for me. He doesn't say anything, and we just sit there for a while. Even for Wolf, his whole sticking together thing is a little intense. He'd brought us together at the very beginning, sure. But after Sydney, it was on a whole different level. He'd barely ever let us leave his sight. That's why I notice a dark figure across the lake, walking on the side of the road. It's Flynn, and he's heading back to Echo. I can see that Leo spotted him too, his ears and eyes following him, but he doesn't say anything. Finally, I speak up. So, is what he said about me true? No. He says it quietly, but the answer's instant. Really? What did he say about him? This is a while ago now.
I was saying, what Flynn said about Chase, I'm assuming is what he means?
Yeah.
What did... Oh, was it about him being boring?
They were just so fucking boring, right?
Yeah.
because we're like the protagonisty person.
Which is it's kind of it's funny. It's kind of meta. It's like,
yeah. You're also gonna just what are you just? All right. Leo takes another drag of the cigarette. Weirdly enough, I can actually kind of like the smell of the smoke. I think his problem with you is that you don't act like you used to as a kid or teenager. He's told me before. I mean, you used to be a snarky motherfucker, even more than you are now. My stomach sinks. Yeah. Yeah, you grew up, you mellowed out. Again, my insides twist and I don't trust myself to speak right then. Leo gets the wrong idea and smiles, putting his arm around me and pulling me up to his side. What he said about everyone was total bullshit, especially Jenna. His whole family mantra did have its limits. The fact that Leo is so defensive of Jenna's decision to leave her family shows what a piece of shit they really are. I'm just glad he's changed the subject, though.
Yeah, because Flynn gave Jenna a bunch of crap about like leaving her family to die while she went off and progressed and became like a good person, like a more educated individual.
We got a hint of how bad things were in 65, and it's like, no, fuck them.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
People aren't entitled to your love just because they're related to you.
I think like there's a lot of people who need to hear that.
Yeah. Leaning my head on his shoulder, I let his hold comfort me. He's still watching Flynn. Ooh, chica, I can't fucking believe he did this now. Idiot. Idiot.
Yeah, he's ruining my chances with you.
Leo shouts it loud across the lake, and if I could, I'd lower my ears like a canine. I see the small figure that is Flynn turn around and look back at us. Oh, he just walks across
he's
the
not
water.
that far away.
Just the fucking lake parts.
He's actually a Jesus lizard.
JoJo fight starts.
He runs across the lake. You know?
Oh, there are lizards that run on water.
Yeah, Jesus lizards.
Yeah. He stays like that for a while. It looks like he's examining us. Finally, he turns back, around, and keeps going towards Echo. Fucking idiot. How the hell am I gonna go ahead with what I planned this week? In the past, Flynn would have his blow-ups, then get over it, and so would we. Sounds healthy. But this time really did feel different. It was like he'd been chipping away at our group for years, and finally this is what broke it into pieces. Now there's no putting things back together. Maybe it would have been better if we didn't come here. It's sort of my fault. Nope, it's Flynn's fault. Stupid to blame yourself. I don't know. We always had problems. Probably would have been better to just leave things as they were. No, Jesus, why does everyone act like this whole thing, Echo, our friendship, is some kind of horrible tragedy? It hasn't exactly been a walk in the park. Life isn't a walk in the park. And I love walkies. God damn it. God damn.
What? Life isn't always walkies? Why keep living?
I hate the fucking feeling where mid-sentence I realize what I'm about to say, and it's just happening.
This very tiny little piece of cake that just says, no, don't say that, but that piece is so small. It's like sitting in the back of your brain, just like, oh, well, I have no authority here.
God damn it. This is where we come from. Find some good in it instead of bitching about everything. It could be so much worse. My parents told me stories about their hometown. And compared to where I was born, this isn't shit. He huffs out smoke through his nose, not bothering to blow it away from me this time, and I'm engulfed in the smell of tobacco. I mean, not to be an asshole, but you gringos have it easy. My mom had a phone call almost every month telling her that they'd kill my dad just because they had money. Leo's always been good at making me feel like a spoiled brat. I'm sorry. Snapping?
Ooh, yeah, snapping. I'm sorry.
Is this the snapping that people do when they're spilling tea? when mad truths are coming out?
I mean, I think it's a little bit, usually it's a little bit more haphazard and less beautifully coordinated than that.
Not perfect tempo. His arm tightens around me and I turn my head to rub my nose into his chest. I can smell his musk under the heavy deodorant. It's a familiar smell I like. Don't be. I mean, we all play our cards, right? But try to have a little more perspective. He leans his chin on the top of my head. I feel like we should have some boundaries since we're not exactly a couple anymore, but this feels right. I feel like those boundaries about to go away real fast.
Yeah, it's dissolving fast.
I feel like this is the run back to Leo path, which means we get to find out why it was a bad idea to be in a relationship in the first place, probably.
Ooh, good. That'll be a fun time. Or horrible time. I don't know.
This is famously a game where good things happen.
Yeah, famously.
Yeah. I love this town, and I love you guys. I just want things to work out. Not to lose touch. We had something really special. You're such a wolf. Thanks. I lay a paw on his thigh and rub it slowly, thinking, yeah, this is his boundaries.
Thinking about what?
These are extreme boundaries we got here.
About?
I mean, is there really no way you could leave with me? It would make things so much easier. Chase, are you talking about the future? Because like right now you're just a college student in a dorm, and he's not in that college, so it's kind of cut and dry at that point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's he gonna afford to live where you live?
Yeah, but he's too into family. Please don't ask that. I can't leave them. I could never do that. You know this. Of course I did. We've argued about it for over 100 times already. I squeeze his thigh. So, are you still mad at me? I listen to Leo breathe in deeply, my head rising with his chest. No, Otter, I'm not mad. We just have a lot of things to figure out, but we will. I guess that's as good a place as any to leave off, so I move on to another subject. Chase is really bad at not being a couple anymore.
Yeah.
Like really.
Way to stand your ground, Chase.
A lot of physical contact. Almost feels like he's using physical contact to like push Leo into not being mad at him anymore, but also that he's literally right back to talking about their future together, which is not a thing you say when you're not in a relationship, supposedly. So, whoops.
Yeah, he doesn't have a very strong resolve, apparently. I always get the impression that if we had broken up but stayed in Echo, we would have just not have broken up, and we would have like lasted a day.
So now that Flynn's fucked up the trip, what do we do next? He hasn't. We'll fix this. Just gotta get that dumbass to apologize. But once I do, we have a birthday to plan. No! Is it gonna happen every route? It's not a good time. I raised my brows in surprise. It wasn't anyone's birthday anytime soon.
Maybe Carl will love it this time.
Huh. Whose birthday? Carl's. Carl? His birthday wasn't until the end of April. That's very close to my birthday. Literally a month away. Which also means it's very close to Legoshi's birthday.
You nerd. It's almost my birthday in real life.
It is. Not when the video comes out, though. This video is going to come out in like November.
And then I am older now.
I'm old now.
When you hear this, I will be old.
Do not watch this series anymore. I am old and out of touch. I can't keep up with you TikTokers.
But maybe you're old and out of touch too. Maybe.
Whoa. It's not me that's wrong. It's the kids. It's early. Really early, I know. But I'm kind of limited on ideas of what we can do. I guess that makes sense. So when's that gonna be? Wednesday. We need to buy stuff tomorrow, and I have the day off. Leo looks at his phone again. Speaking of which, I need to drive you guys back so I can get back to work. Well, alright. I'm not doing much else tomorrow. I should be working on the project, but I've got plenty of time. I don't think he finishes this project in any other timeline besides Carl's. Or at least he doesn't have much to go on compared to what he had in that one. Leo slides off the boulder and turns back to me.
Well, even in the last one, he says he didn't finish it, and what he was doing was like it was an aftermath kind of thing he was just doing.
Yeah, well,
but the project he came here to do, he did not finish in Carl's timeline.
Well, he made progress on it in that trip.
You don't think we're even going to start it on this one?
Well, I mean, we got a lot of information from Carl's basement. And yeah, he did so much research via Carl. And in that one, he does finish that project. It's just that what happened is that he took a year off for therapy and so on. And also the project itself, like its focus shifted from being about mass hysteria to the history of the town. Or the other way around. Vice
versa.
Yeah. But it shifted to being related to the stuff he actually talked about that actually happened, as opposed to what he started off talking about. Here's a coal mining town that died. This was a lot less interesting at that point than.
I just don't think your teacher's gonna collect your project a year and a half from then.
I mean, that's a hell of a doctor's note. It's the newspaper front page.
Hey, mass hysteria. I need to go to therapy. I'm gonna be out of class for a while.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I think you can. There's some allowances that can happen.
Get
sometime.
out of work. Just bring them a note that says, "I need therapy.
Yeah.
I can't come to work anymore."
I was gonna say it might be different if he was in grad school, because it might be like. I feel like when you start a master's thesis or whatever, it just kind of starts and you just kind of like finish it eventually. But I never knew the logistics of it. I've worked on somebody else's master's thesis, but I did not go to grad school. But it seems so much more informal than regular school. Both high school and undergrad college. I don't know. I don't know how the world works. I barely know how my world works. I'll ask Jenna and TJ too. I'll let Flynn cool off for a day. Do you know where TJ went? Yeah, he just texted me that he wanted to be left alone, which I understand. I get off the boulder as well, and Leo reaches a paw out to me. And this time, watch where you're walking. Hold on to me. That's probably a good idea. I'm bleeding. Yeah.
Again.
Yep. Tuesday. What is it? The moment he was checking his phone, I figured like, oh, he's probably checking his phone because he's probably in contact. He's either talking to TJ or he's hoping that TJ will text him because they can't find him. So I figured that was probably what was happening.
We're right back at the parking lot.
We're here. Welcome to the blowjob parking lot.
Raven won't be here this time.
That's the only conversation I remember.
I mean, what else is there to remember?
What's that weird brown line coming out of the top of the... I guess that's what happens when you just put a filter on something. It'll interpret stuff strangely sometimes.
What are you talking about?
The brown line coming off the mall on top.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Just a weird artifact. Kind of like how the top of the sky is somehow stabbing into the mall. Somehow.
Yeah, there's some weird...
There's some interpolation AI choice things that made some strange choices. Peyton Mall is tiny compared to the one in Pueblo, where I go to school. It's only got 1 floor and maybe 20 stores. Still, it wasn't a bad place to hang out when I was in high school, mostly because I had a movie theater. So, where do you guys want to go first?
First, we only need to go to one.
You sure? I mean, maybe we should help him branch out.
He knows what he likes. It's fine.
We're gonna go to the gaming store. And that's where... Wait, no. That's where they went after they met Raven. That's not where Raven works. Raven works at Spencer's, but not... He works at
knockoff Spencer's.
Yeah, he works at ambiguous Spencer's. People that don't have a Spencer's are very confused because it's such a specific store.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does the East Coast have Spencer's? Are we just like making a reference that no one's gonna get?
I don't know if I don't know. I have zero knowledge of what the reach of Spencer's is, even if it's across California or not. And this is an international audience, so
dude, we might. Sorry, guys, I didn't even think about that.
Enjoy looking up a store that's the name of a person's name. That's great. That's good search engine optimization.
Spencer in high school, and he was an asshole.
Well, all right, lasers it is.
Oh.
Wait.
It's called Lasers with a Z, like how Spencer's has a Z.
Yeah. Oh, is this spelled with a Z?
I'm pretty sure.
Why are we going to... Wait, why are we going here?
I gotta look up if Spencer's ends with a Z.
I thought we were going to the... Was it called Lasers last time?
I don't think we said what it was called last time. I think we just ran with the idea that it was a Spencer's because we saw it and we were like, oh, it's fucking Spencer's.
I thought the gaming store and the clothing store were 2 different locations, and Raven worked at the gaming store, but was randomly saw us walk in and was like, "Hey guys!" And then it had to go back to work or something.
Okay, so Spencer's does not have a Z. I really thought it did. It seems so on brand.
It just would. It's one of those kinds of stores where it looks like a radioactive clown jizzed on everything.
Yeah, so Spencer's.
Yeah. Well, there is a lot of weird porn here.
Spencer's.
Think Carl would like that?
Spencer's.
Yeah, just get the anime girl with the 2-foot dick.
Spencer's used to have a whole blacklight section.
That's like half a Twitter.
And you could just have like cool posters you could hang in your room that would be like blacklight, which they don't have that anymore.
The fuzzy posters?
Yeah.
I used to love the fuzzy posters when I was a kid.
They don't have those anymore. It's just porn back there now. Or dumb, like, cheap, cheap, like, sex gag gifs that are not useful or funny.
Yeah, it's like not a real sex shop. It's like shitty sex shop. Like, haha tee hee joke sex
it's like,
shop.
oh, they're the classic tits you can put on.
Novelty
like, you and your
only,
bros
do
can wear fake tits. Like, haha.
Novelty only, do not use.
Yeah,
you might die or have to go to the hospital. I don't know.
They don't actually. Yeah.
And also, anime shirts. Weird store. Rainbow dildo lollipop and anime shirts.
I go there because they have all my nose rings that I need.
You can get a mug that looks like a ramen cup.
Or like a Rick and Morty backpack.
Yeah, a lot of Rick and Morty stuff in there. It's really confusing. It's fucking like Think Geek for adults though. You're a man now. You like sex things with your anime. It's a very strange store.
I don't really know who the demographic is.
I don't know. I was in there a couple of months ago with someone and we're like, what is this place? I'm so confused. So coming up in this was funny. I'm not really sure what Carl's into when it comes to that. Me. Haha. Bad news, Leo. I think... Wait. Oh, I'm not really sure what Carl's into when it comes to that. I think he likes the paws, honestly. Oh. He's a foot man. That didn't come up.
Oh. It did. Why didn't he look at our feet?
Why don't I just box up my foot and put a bow on it then?
You maybe.
Oops.
What the?
Whenever I touch the joystick slightly, it selects either this
I thought
or
you just,
this.
I thought you had a million choices for a second.
That, or that.
I thought it was Fallout.
No, it's an
New
option called,
Vegas,
it's an option called backlog.
20
you
options.
can scroll through all the dialogue.
Oh.
Porn? Really? Let's just stick to comic books.
TJ, I'm gonna fucking bully you.
We haven't seen him for so long that he came in like a jump scare.
What if I want
blending
comic
in
books?
with the background?
I want comic books with porn, TJ.
You look like you work here, TJ.
Yeah, nice stupid polo shirt.
We both look at him. Everything okay, Teach? TJ has been in a bit of a mood ever since he woke up this morning. He didn't talk the whole drive here, instead of just browsing through stuff on his phone.
He's just salty that he isn't roasting on the trail right now.
No, this is fine. I'm fine, guys. TJ smiles to show us how fine he is. It looks so convincing.
So convincing.
Look at the face.
It looks pained.
He always looks pained.
Yeah, sure. Well, Leo's driving us up halfway after this, so you're still gonna get yourself barbecue. What the? Sorry, that threw me off so much. Get yourself barbecue.
Yeah. You don't have to go if you don't want. I don't know if it'd be very fun if you were upset the whole time. At this point, Leo turns to me, smiling. You going with them? In this fur? On these legs? Because he's got stubby little otter legs. His legs are short. I lift a foot for him. No, it's over 90 degrees today. Yeah, best leave it to the land mammals. So... Leo claps his paws together loudly. Let's split up and pick something out. I think it'll be fine if we keep it under $20. As everyone wanders off, I look around. I'm not sure what I should get him. He doesn't get excited about much unless it's one of his comic books is being turned into a movie so they can complain about how it's inaccurate.
I was gonna say that's the opposite of what most people who like comic books want.
Every time a thing gets adapted, people just complain about how it's not the same. Oh, well. How many of the action figures have dicks on them and dispensers?
Yeah, are they buff boys?
Let's see. Oop. I move further towards the back of the store to the action figures, which is where TJ is. He is turning over a toy gun in his paws, his ears down. I walk up next to him, pretending to look over the wall. Find anything interesting? TJ shrugs, pulling the trigger on the gun a few times. It's definitely a weird-looking gun. It's pink, and the muzzle is perfectly round. The end tapered. That's when I realize it's a penis water gun. I'm alright. Just a little tired. He looks over at me, his brows raised. You're feeling better after yesterday, though. Yeah, a bit. Just wish it hadn't happened. Of course. So, you're not going with me and Jenna on the hike, then? Guess not. Leo said he might need some help setting up for the party at his house. I mean, you sort of promised me, but I guess it's alright. I cringe on the inside.
Yeah, as you should.
You haven't seen him in a while, so it's good you guys can have some time to catch up. TJ lifts up the penis gun and points it at his face, squinting an eye and looking down the barrel. Is he just not clocking this at all?
I don't think he is.
How the fuck can he not tell? He must know what a dick looks like. Unless. Wonder what this is from. Do you think Carl will recognize it?
Dude.
Yes. Please buy it for Carl.
That would be hilarious.
Please buy it for Carl. It would be much better than any gift he got that day besides apparently Flynn's great gift.
Oh yeah, the Flynn's
because
gift that was so great that it's kind of romantic.
Yeah. Because Flynn's definitely has a crush on Carl. Say yes, say yes, say yes. He starts pulling the trigger several times, blowing the fur back on his face before opening his muzzle as well.
TJ.
He's giving himself a gun facial.
TJ, little boy. You little boy.
Oh, this is how he had the ghost mishap. I reach out and push it down. I think that's just a novelty item. You should get him something else.
No!
Oh, okay. I can tell that TJ is unhappy, but there's not much that I can do about it. I wander off towards the opposite wall, where all the posters are. Leo's standing there, looking over the display board. I stand next to him. You know, I think every inch of this wall is covered. I don't know if there's any more room. Has he put anything on the ceiling? I don't think so. Then there's room. Well, alright. I guess I'll get him a luce. I don't think he's got one of him. I look over at the masked wolf, his arms crossed, bared chest and abs stuck out on full display. I waggle my brows. Sure, that's why you want him. Leo grins down at me. Oh yeah? Sorry, but he's not my type. I like my guys a bit more supple. His tail slaps my ass. Well, I like him. I love muscles. Leo squares his shoulders and flexes. His biceps bulge to nearly the size of my head. Like these? I feign indifference, shrugging. I'm more into the cut look, like Luce. No. Oh! Leo frowns, but I take that moment to slap him in the butt with my tail, which is much heavier.
Yeah, it is. It's just like...
Yeah, an otter tail?
It's like a slow poke tail.
Not exactly a feather duster. Because it's not as flexible as his, I have to turn my body into it, and it practically thuds into his ass. Leo yelps and stumbles forward into the posters with a loud clatter.
Whoa, calm down, boys.
Jenna walks up behind us and stands next to me. Her arms folded over a manga and with a doe and a schoolgirl out. I blew everything. Her arms folded over a manga with a doe and a schoolgirl uniform on the front. That looks sexy, Jenna. Good pick. Jenna rolls her eyes as Leo reaches into the poster bin with Luce in it. So, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have this one. TJ follows up behind Jenna, a small figurine of Trinity Weasel in his paws. I laugh. And of course you'd get that, TJ.
Isn't that the character that he was defending in like the first at the hotel?
I think that this came up,
and they're talking about superheroes, and he's like, "Well, I like that one," and everyone's like, "Oh, it's like because you're repressed or some shit." Like they're giving him shit about it. They
called him out on it in the universe. Hey, it was a good price, and the.
He's kidding, TJ.
Anyway, maybe it'll help him take another look at that movie. It's really good.
Yeah, didn't Carl say he didn't like it?
Yeah. Everyone's bad at buying gifts. This is a fact of life. Gift receiving is just a real... Oh! Every time.
An avocado! Thanks!
Wow.
An avocado.
I realize that I'm the only one that hasn't picked out a gift, and I look around anxiously. Right in front of me is a rack of beanie caps. One of them has a bloodied and decaying zombie face printed on it. Its teeth bared on the brim.
That was such a thing for a while.
The brim of a beanie cap. They do have brims.
But, oh my gosh.
Remember beanie caps?
Beanie caps. Oh.
That's an era.
Oh my gosh. When I was a little tiny kid, I went to an Avril Lavigne concert, and I got a beanie cap, guys. My dad bought me one, because my dad took me, because I was a child.
Yeah, this is the most 2002 thing you've ever said.
I know. I just
got a beanie cap at an Avril Lavigne concert.
Flashback, man.
I assume it's to make the wearer look like their head is clamped inside. I think Carl likes zombies.
Does it have?
You seem really
room
uncertain
for his
for some.
horns? Is it the right kind of beanie?
Yeah, I was gonna say it better be the right kind of cap, but also you seem oddly unsure about your best friend. I snatch it off the rack and hurry up to the front with the others. Maybe you should give him a stress ball. How does it look? I ask TJ as we're walking through the parking lot. It looks good, I guess? No, I mean, does it look like a zombie badger is eating my head? Oh, yeah, it looks great. He gives me a thumbs up. Wow. Ah. I pull it down over my face slowly. How do you think we'd all do in a zombie attack? Like if we were like in a horror story of some kind. How do you think that would turn out? If there was like a mass hysteria event where everybody started attacking each other.
One person always says,
"Is it the twink? Does the twink die first?"
I'm gonna go to. Well, are you referring to us or to TJ? I was gonna say. No, every time anyone talks about zombie apocalypse, one person always says, "I'm gonna go to Costco," and I always go, "Idiot! That's where everyone's gonna fucking go. You can't say you want to go to Costco." And someone else is like, "I'm gonna go to Bass Pro Shops and get like a like one of those automatic arrow shooter things." I'm forgetting the name of crossbow. I'm gonna get crossbow at the Bass Pro Shops. And I'm like, guess what? You don't want to show up to the Bass Pro Shops after everyone's colonized the Bass Pro Shops, because they'll shoot your ass because they're all guns at the Bass Pro Shop.
I mean, yeah, the being the person like, I'm gonna rush to place where you get weapon or survival thing after it started is like a bad start to your plan.
You're not gonna get there first.
The first thing is to get out of town as fast as possible via any route that is not where everyone else is going. Because the most dangerous thing you can be is in a city or of some kind.
Get out of a city and then find a CVS. Steal all their vitamins.
Like one of the advantages we have in the United States is that it's mostly an empty country. And so you can actually get really far from where everything's really bad relatively quickly and then figure out what to do.
That's why I'm really into zombie movies that take place in like South Korea or Japan. All those movies are so much better because nobody has guns. That's the thing. Nobody has guns there. They don't own them personally.
Last Train to Busan.
Yep, and it's so populated and you can't go anywhere. There's like every place is a city. Like in those
that's either
movies.
being remade or already has been remade in English.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's even more confusing because the name's changed because it's not going to be to Busan. So just if you see a zombie train movie in English, it's a remake of the Korean film.
Why don't they just keep the name the same and just have an American town called Busan? Would that just change the world?
I mean, you could. Well, all of our towns are named after other cities anyway.
Yeah.
New Busan.
Yeah, sure.
San Francisco. Yeah. There's also I think there's a sequel to Last Train to Busan. So I know there's an animated prequel. Well, this is getting advanced.
But I didn't really like it. It's more
I
like
have not seen that.
It's more like a visual. It's like an animated novel.
A motion comic.
Yeah, exactly.
I lift the hat back up over my forehead. Like, who would die first?
TJ.
My eyes fall involuntarily on TJ. Me? Why do you think that? Well, maybe not. You are pretty fast. I just kind of imagine you just curling up in a ball. But honestly, I'd be the first to go. I stick out a leg. Look at how stubby these are.
I thought he was just trying to say he was going to hitchhike. Like, he's stick out his leg. Like, dude, I definitely would just... I would find the person with the biggest gun, and I would just be like, "Hey, big boy." Like, wink, wink. You want to protect me with your life?
You'd Channing Tatum through the apocalypse?
Yes.
Psh, I'm the fastest, and I'd carry you. You wouldn't have to worry. Wow, connections.
Oh, really?
I look over at Jenna and see that she's got a gleam in her eyes that always puts me on edge.
Pretty sure I'm faster than you, Leo.
These two are very competitive. Oh, right, that's their entire backstory.
Yeah.
Leo smirks. Pretty sure my legs are way longer and way faster than yours, Jenna.
Leo's like a sprinter, and he would like go faster in a short amount of time, but I think Jenna would be able to run longer.
Because she's light,
yeah.
So she can just run forever.
Mm-hmm.
Jenna sticks out her bag with the manga in it at me. I take it. Oh, they're gonna race. I take it slowly, trying to catch her eye so I can shake my head frantically at her. Please don't stomp on Leo's ego again by defeating him again.
No, do it.
Leo sticks his bag out at TJ, almost punching him in the nose. TJ jumps and gingerly takes it from him, frowning. This is a parking lot, guys. Are you sure it's a good idea?
There's no cars here, TJ.
But Jenna and Leo have already taken up their positions side by side, leaning forward.
All right, to that lamppost.
You're on. Count us off, Chase. How is this proving anything? Don't you need to be carrying Chase? Alright, ready, set, go. Leo actually gets a bit of a head start since he anticipated the go, but Jenna catches up right away. In fact, she's 10 feet ahead of him just 5 seconds into the race. I can hear her laughing as she gracefully speeds ahead, her tail whipping around like a flag as she zips off towards the horizon. Leo, realizing he's going to lose, is frantically flailing his arms around, his ears and head down as he charges forward. I'm actually surprised by how bad he's losing. I mean, he used to play football back in high school, so he's had some training.
You don't have to run fast.
Yeah, but now he's got a belly.
Well, but you could be the kind of guy that tackles the people in football, not the guy that runs in football.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he could also run better when he was lighter.
That's true.
With his head down, I guess he doesn't see the curb right in front of him, and his foot clips it as he passes.
Oh no.
I hear the yelp, then see him careen off to the side, then roll on the asphalt before slamming up against the tire of a parked car. TJ gasps and covers his eyes, like he will in the apocalypse, and then die first. Oh my gosh! I'm already running up to where Leo's fallen. He's sitting up against the tire, one paw on his head, as he grits his teeth in pain. Are you alright? Jesus, you hit that hard. I kneel down next to him, and the second he sees me, he grins and quickly scrambles up, brushing his paws.
Oh.
I'm fine. I just tripped a bit. I can see spots in his paw pads that are skinned and bleeding, and I wince. Jesus Christ, Leo, that wasn't just a bit. Jenna, having noticed that her competition had eaten shit, jogs back to us, her paws on her hips as she breathes heavily.
Wow. You okay, Leo?
I'm fine. Want to try that again? The stupid curb got in the way. Nope, you're banged up enough as it is. You're fucking bleeding everywhere. I should probably drive. I'm fine, Chase. Leo rolls his eyes to show me how much he doesn't care, but I can see that the insides of his ears are bright red. There's a bit of an awkward silence, only punctuated by Leo and Jenna's breathing. Finally, Jenna walks up next to me and puts her paw around my shoulders.
Well, now you know who you're more likely to survive with in a zombie apocalypse, Chase. Remember it.
But you can't carry me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's just you're gonna survive
Yeah,
on your own as you outrun with me with your fast little fox legs. Congrats.
Yeah, you outrunning me actually bodes worse for me, because I need to be with someone slower so that way they get eaten before I do. Like, you can't be faster than me, Jenna.
The only advantage here is that you outrunning me is good for you stabbing me down the back.
Like in that last playthrough.
Giving me a big scar. She leans her head up against my shoulder, and I cringe as I see Leo's smile turn icy. Alright, cool, let's get going.
So jealous.
I wiggle out from under her arm. You guys need to get to your hike. Did that happen because we said that we were bi in this route? It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, no, she's been flirting with us. She won us the toy, remember?
Yeah.
And now she's like, she's competitive with Leo because she wants our love. Like,
she's here to steal your man.
That's fine. Jenna can steal my heart. It's fine.
I'd give it for free.